I'm Katelynn Doran with HHS News, and I'm here with Randy Doran, and I'm going to interview him about his job at Iowa State. So Randy, what exactly is your job at Iowa State?
I am currently in the position of the offensive line manager. I make sure that the offensive line has what they need when they need it, and just kind of make sure that practices go smoothly and effectively.
Okay, how was your first day when you started?
My first day was really rough. It was right in the middle of two-a-days during practices right before school started. So kind of got thrown right into the mix right away. Had to learn as I go, and it was fun right away, and it was a great first day. Then everything was kind of the same after that, but it was still fun to go to every day.
Okay, what is it that you do during the games and practices?
During practice, usually start the day off by helping the specialists warm up. A lot of times I'll catch long snaps from the deep snappers, and I'll make sure that the kicker has enough balls to kick, and just kind of make sure things go well during the first part of practice, and then make sure the O-line does their lineman drills right, make sure they got their footwork down. And then when we get into the actual team stuff, I write up the plays so that the backups actually know what's going on. A lot of times the backups will ask me questions like, what do we do on this play? What's the play call? What's the snap count? Stuff like that. And I'm able to tell them what they're supposed to do and all that. During games, the pregame, it usually starts off with the special teams. I go in. I'm usually Brett Culbertson's shadow during pregame. Wherever he's at, I got to be at. As soon as he kicks the ball, I got to go get it, try and catch kicks. Whenever he does an onside kick, I got to make sure to recover that and make sure that it's like a game situation where a defender would stand. So, unfortunately, Brett Culbertson really doesn't have a set routine. So. There's been games when I've had to basically do a 120-yard sprint to get to the other side to catch a kick. When he just decides to switch to the other side of the field without really letting me know, so I just get done catching one of them, and next thing I know, he's lining up on the other side. But once games start, on home games, I just kind of hang around the offensive side of the bench, make sure no one's helmet broke or anything. On away games, I was elected to the position of ball boy, so I trail the line judge and make sure that I always have a ball ready to go and play when everyone needs to.
That sounds really fun and interesting. What do you first expect the players to be like? Were they like that, or were they different in any way?
Going in, I really envision D1 athletes being kind of snotty and uptight per se, but a lot of them are really actually a lot of good guys, real funny guys. I hang out with a lot of the players and have some fun with them, and they're just normal college kids, 20, 19-year-old guys like me.
So do you like going to away games?
Away games are a lot of fun. Traveling has been fun. Getting there has been a lot easier than getting back home. We've been stranded a couple times this year, but when we're there, we get treated real nicely, pretty much first class all the way. A lot of the visiting cities are very accommodating to us. Sometimes we get heckling from some fans, but that's expected. But if there's one thing I'd like to on away games to come away with a win, I'm sure that the ride home would probably be a lot funner that way.
Who's one of your favorite assistant coaches, and can you tell us why?
Coach Wayne Bold, he's a defensive coordinator. He's a different kind of guy. He's pretty funny. You really have to know him to be able to know what his humor's like. But he's got more quotes than Kenneth Carson's does, and that's saying something.
Are there any highlights from your first football season with the team? If so, what are they?
Definitely. First thing that comes to mind, Iowa. 20-some point underdogs, pretty much dominated the whole game. Made 5 field goals to win it. It was a great game. Everyone was excited. And besides, it's always great to beat Iowa. Can't stand them. Other than that, I really, of course, you're going to love the games that you win, like when we beat K-State and when we beat Colorado. But I'd say the Oklahoma game, another game where you're supposed to get completely blown out by a team, and we actually controlled most of the game, and that was a great game to be at. The crowd was into it, and it was a fun atmosphere.
Okay, who are some of the upcoming football players that we, the fans, should be watching for?
Being with the offensive line, I know there's a couple really big guys coming up. Number 71, Trey Basinger, and number 72, Kaliki Ashmal. Both of those guys are on the offensive scout team. They both really handled the varsity defensive line very well, and we're definitely expecting them to contribute next year. Running back Alexander Robinson, number 33, he showcased some of his talents later in the year when we decided to go with a younger running back. He was only a freshman, so he'll be a sophomore next year. We're expecting big things. Defensive tackle Jared Black gave our offensive teams fits all through the year. My O-lineman couldn't block him, and the offensive coordinator really doesn't like when that happens. But then another guy, a true freshman, Cameron Bell, came in this year. Played linebacker behind Alvin Bowen, who was one of the best players Iowa State's had in recent years. And as a true freshman, be able to go in there and play the way he did, we're expecting big things in the future from him.
How do you come across this job position? Because I know a lot of people would find this opportunity a great one.
Well, believe it or not, this summer I worked at the pool, and it was one of those days where not much was really happening, and it was just kind of on the computer looking at the weather or Facebook, but we're just going to go with the weather right now. But I went on to the Iowa State job openings because I was looking for some work study to help pay for school, and I came across it said Iowa State manager, and I sent in a resume, said I played for Harlan, and later that night the director of equipment operations wanted to know if I wanted the job, and I said yeah, and it's kind of how it went.
Sounds very neat and like just once in a lifetime thing. You wouldn't expect it. Do you have any favorite nicknames that the players have? Who's the player and what is the nickname?
Wide receiver number 32, Mylan Moses. We call him Mimo. It's just kind of quick and easy. Of course, most people know our linebacker Alvin Bowen, nicknamed Ace. Brett Culbertson, our kicker, looks like Shaggy off of Scooby-Doo. Won't cut his hair or anything. It's kind of all raggy, but kind of the unknown one. It's an O-lineman, number 76, Lee Tibbs. His nickname's Big Sexy. I guess you just have to see him to know how it goes. I mean, when you see him, you'll know.
Is there anything special that happens before each game?
I don't know. I'm usually on the field before the team gets there, so if there is, I'm sure there is, but nothing for me. I just make sure I'm there. That's special enough.
Okay, after working with the team this season, is it something that interests you to do in the near future?
Oh yeah, I plan on doing it the next 3 years of my college career. And so it's been fun, definitely. A lot of good stories.
Okay, what do you think about this topic? Could ISU go bowling next year?
Yeah, we should easily beat our first two teams. We start off with the football championship subdivision, formerly known as 1AA, South Dakota State. And then we're going to get our mighty revenge on Kent State this year. Then after that, we're going to have a for sure win game against the poor Iowa team. And hopefully we'll be 4-0 after beating UNLV in Las Vegas. That's going to be an awesome trip. I can't wait for that one. Hopefully we can win 4 more conference games this year. We are no longer playing Texas, Oklahoma, and Texas Tech. Instead, for the South teams, we're playing Baylor, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma State. And I don't want to put any teams down really, but I don't know, Baylor's not quite up to par with Texas, I'd say, so might be able to make it more of a contest for that game. So I could easily see 8-4 going into a good bowl game.
Okay, what's this I hear about you having to deal with some of the players after every win? What is it?
Well, when I first started, as soon as the players found out I played football in high school, they kind of gave me a rough time, like, well, and these are old linemen, they're like, well, if we're big and clumsy enough to be able to do these agility ropes, and you said that you play tight end, I'm sure you could be able to do these too. And I'm like, well, I tell you what, every game you win, I'll do the ropes with you. So kind of was joking about it, but they held me to it, and it was kind of fun. Kind of showed them up, but oh well. No walk-on for me next year, though.
Okay, who is the team all sponsored by?
All apparel, our uniforms, all that stuff. We got a big sponsorship with Nike. Nike makes sure to put their logo on everything and anything. And then we got Riddell for equipment and Powerade for our drinks.
Okay, does the team have to wear the clothing or items at all times?
Everything at practice has to be Nike. If not, we could get fined up to $1,000 for each item.
Like gloves?
Gloves are included, socks. If they happen to see your girdle or your compression shorts, if those are Under Armour, the school could get fined.
So then do they get their outfits or their clothing or apparel for like discount?
Yeah, everything's issued. They issue practice clothing, and we make sure that they have plenty of socks, and we're very accommodating until they start asking for socks every day.
Okay, so the winter's coming up. Do you work during the winter?
I'll be working maybe a couple times a week, usually helping with offensive workouts. Might do a little film work, I'm not sure. But mostly I'm just going to spend most of that time studying, because that's kind of what college is all about anyway.
Okay, the new helmets and jerseys we're getting for this year, have you seen them? What do you think about them?
Yeah, I've seen them. To be honest, I really like them. We're finally going to lose the McDonald's look, and going to get a little more respect, hopefully, on the road. I mean, I won't be having the visiting student section asking for me to make them a Big Mac or anything anymore.
Okay, what are some benefits from being part of the Iowa State football program?
Like I said, we're supposed to wear Nike to all practices. That includes managers. So managers also are in the same boat. So if it's a uniform, technically it's supposed to be supplied. So we get Nike apparel to wear for practice for games.
That's nice. Outside of the football field and practice facilities, do you ever see any of the players?
Some days, it just depends. I saw one of the players at the physics building, kind of took a double take. I'm like, is he really in the physics hall? But yeah, one of them was. I see Brett Meyer sometimes on Sci-Ride, kind of makes you feel pretty cool. Everyone's like, oh my God, it's Brett Meyer. And they're just like, what's up, Randy? Mind if I sit by you? And then usually, like, I'd say once or twice a week, freshman Philip Bates, who made the game-winning catch that set up our field goal against Iowa, he usually comes in the lunch line it's about 50 people deep, and I finally spent a half hour working my way up to the front of the line, and he's just like, hey, Randy, how's it going? And just slides right in behind me, but he's Philip Bates. He does what he wants.
Okay, is there anything that you would like to say to people who are not Iowa State fans?
Yeah. Get on the bandwagon before we start rolling.
Okay, this has been my interview with Randy Doran about the Iowa State position he has. And this is Katelynn Doran again for HCHS News.